I really felt the beauty of rural living in the countryside. Gifts are not always wrapped in papers or bought from the shop. Sometimes they are tied with a string straight from the homestead, from the land, from animals, from the harvest, maybe a chicken, a seedling, fresh food from the garden. These are real blessings. Today I visited my aunt's beautiful off-grid garden, and honestly, it felt like stepping into a small paradise hidden in the countryside. The moment I entered through the gate, I was welcomed by fresh air, birds singing, and endless greenery everywhere. Everything looked so peaceful and alive. The first stop after entering the compound was straight to where she had kept her chicken. There was soft clucking everywhere, chicks chirping in the background, and the gentle movement of the big birds across their space. The homestead immediately felt alive. She has a well organized setup for her chickens. The bigger chickens move around in their own area, scratching the ground, stretching their wings, and enjoying the fresh countryside air. They look healthy, active, and well cared for. You can tell they are part of a routine that is consistent and intentional. Then there is a separate space for the chicks. It is smaller, more protected, and carefully prepared to keep them safe. After watching the chicken, we now finally entered the deeper into my aunt's shamba, and this is where the real countryside work truly shows. Everything felt even more natural and wide. The shamba stretched out beautifully, full of life and quiet activities. You can immediately tell this is not just land, it is a place of daily care, effort, and purpose. Fruit trees surrounded almost every corner. There were huge avocado trees carrying so many fruits that the branches looked heavy. We spotted a plantain banana in the shamba, and I couldn't help but ask my aunt if she could give us a seedling. The seedling was gently pulled out of the soil, and it felt like such a simple but beautiful countryside moment, carrying new life from one farm to the other. Then I spotted pomegranates growing quietly among the leaves, adding little pops of color to the garden. There were also raw and ripe pawpaws that were glowing orange and yellow under the sunlight, looking so sweet and fresh. At one point, I just stood quietly in the middle of the garden, taking everything in. The sunlight shining through the trees, the cool breeze touching the leaves, the peaceful sound around me. It honestly felt healing. Sometimes nature gives your mind the kind of rest that nothing else can. As we moved deeper into the shamba, I saw dragon fruits growing slowly and beautifully along their supports. Not far from them, rows of maize, tall, healthy, and almost ready for harvest. The cobs were filling nicely, the leaves strong and green, and the whole section of shamba looked like it was nearing a season of joy. You can already imagine the moment when they will be picked, cooked, and enjoyed at home. The feeling of harvest is always special in the countryside. We reached another section that was completely filled with sukuma wiki, spinach, and green Napier grass for cows. This area looked different immediately. Instead of small vegetable rows, there were tall, thick, and green grasses standing strong in a neat section. The Napier grass was healthy and well managed, showing that it is carefully maintained for one main purpose, that is feeding her cows. After spending such a peaceful and beautiful day at my aunt's off-grid homestead, it was finally time to go home. We had walked through the compound, seen the chickens and the chicks, moved through the garden, explored the shamba, and felt the calm rhythm of countryside life. Everything felt so full, full of nature, full of work, and full of peace. As I was getting ready to leave, I thought the visit was already more than enough. Just being there, learning, watching, and experiencing village life was a blessing on its own. But my aunt had something special waiting for me. She didn't let me leave empty-handed. With a warm smile, she went and carefully told me to pick a beautiful chicken and gave me as a gift. Holding it felt so meaningful, like carrying a piece of her hard work, love, and countryside life back home with me. In that moment, I really felt the beauty of rural living. In the countryside, gifts are not always wrapped in papers or bought from shops. Sometimes they come straight from the homestead, tied with a string, from the land, from animals, from the harvest. A chicken, a seedling, fresh food from the garden. These are real blessings. If you love this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more interesting and amazing videos.